So what I wanted to put it back to you, ne,
Yes.
was how did you find the lead for that property?
Okay. This is the situation. I was doing my own research, checking at locations as to where I can invest in properties. So I came across an FET college that is very close. It's about some meters away from where I've purchased the land, and then I've built student accommodation. So as we
Okay.
speak, I've just finished doing the buildings and stuff. So the process was that I took everything into the municipality. They've approved the plan and have given me the go ahead to start building. And as we
Okay.
speak, the structure has been erected, and I'm expecting tenants by the 1st of June. So I'm just
Well
doing
done.
push-ups now.
Congrats, man. Was it your first sort of a development?
Yes, was my first. So I'm looking at venturing into other properties.
How was your experience in terms of doing that?
I'm thinking that building something from scratch, it requires enough capital and time as well. So I'm thinking of, like, say, going forward to buy properties that have already been built and in better locations and things like that. But
Mm,
starting from scratch, it has got its ups and downs, and
mm,
you need to get, if you have enough capital and you are like doing things, it's like buying a property cash, because
mm,
you are buying a stand and building, so you don't owe the banks, you don't owe anyone after the structure has been erected. It
mm,
is a good one, but if you wanna, let's say, for example, you wanna own few properties in a short space of time, I think I will consider buying properties that has already been bare built in better locations.
mm.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
basically it.
So maybe you mentioning that the challenges that you are faced with is capital and
Yeah.
and then I think time. What you mean by
Yes.
saying time, for someone who doesn't understand what you mean, what you mean was a time and issue for you.
Oh, the issue is the turnaround time in terms of the construction of the whole property. If you buy a property that is in a good location and it is already built, so it won't take you maybe say 3 4 months to build it. But if you're starting from scratch, you're gonna require some few months to complete the whole structure. Like, for
Mm,
example, I've started late last year and I've just finished now, which,
mm,
if I am to check, it took me something like 6 7 months. But if I
mm,
was like buying I mean, a property that's already been constructed, I wasn't gonna wait long before I
mm.
could get tenants. So that's basically it.
So you are saying, and it brings back to the issue of enough capital because during the building phase or construction phase, they are holding costs. And
Yes,
also you are putting money on the ground that you are not earning any interest during that time, isn't it?
100%, 100%. That's correct.
Yes. So what have you learned from there?
Uh, I can say, like I said, from my experience, I feel like it's a 50-50 situation where it is good to build something from scratch with the money that you have, knowing that you will be doing it at your own pace. It is good, depending on individuals, and it is also good to buy something that is already, I mean, built, and then you can expect tenants as soon as possible, and that's when you can start generating an income.
Mm,
But if we look at it, my option to others, it might be a very good option, whilst to
mm,
others, it might be, I mean, not a good one, because they might need people to come as soon as possible.
Mm.
But in the long run, knowing that you own a property and then you don't owe the bank, there's no bonds, there's nothing on it, it is a good move. But
Okay.
going forward, I mean, the very same property can generate an income, and that income, that's when you can start to invest in other properties.
You are mentioning that owning a property that that you are not owing the bank, it can be something that feels good. Have
Yes.
you ever considered what we call optimal capital structure?
Never before, sir. I want to be honest. I've never considered that before.
Maybe that's your homework for tonight. I'm not gonna spoon feed you. You sound
Yes.
like a man who's capable of being able to execute. So maybe that's what you need to do to say, what will be my ideal optimal capital structure, right? That's
Okay.
your homework for tonight. But
100%.
maybe let's go back. Let's go back and say, what are the things that you think you've learned, and in specific, not in general form, but in specific to this project, what are the things that you think you could have done better on?
Uh, I think what I could have done better was the first thing that I could have done better, which comes to mind right now, was immediately after getting the plans approved by the municipality. I could have, with the little capital that I had, I could have waited and done a proper analysis in terms of how much will the entire structure cost me.
Mm,
And once I've done that, I'll be able to say, okay, in this project, I'm gonna need, say, for example, 500,000, and I've got
mm,
100,000.
mm,
So I could have waited and maybe gathered the funds and be sure that when I start, the fund is enough to complete the project, because I had to start with the little thousands that I had, and then when the money is finished, then I had to wait, get the capital, and complete the structure. So it now takes longer than what I thought I was gonna take the whole structure. But had I waited
oh,
and gathered
John,
the
we
funding,
lost you. We lost you there when you're still explaining that. When you're comparing having 100,000 versus required 500,000.
yes, yes, yes. Okay,
Mm,
what I was actually saying was, I thought I could have waited and gathered the funding to complete the whole project instead of using the little that I had. And when that money is exhausted, I had to wait and get funding again. And when you are doing something like this with your own money, not taking out loans and things like that, it's taking long because
mm,
you have to fund it from your own pocket. So,
okay.
yeah, the other option was that one would go to the banks and approach the bank. Once you've purchased the land, you say, okay, I've got the land, I've got 100,000, and the property needs 500,000. So you'd go to the bank and said, okay, I need say 400,000. I've got the land, I've got the deposit, and then the bank would maybe be able to assist, and then you complete the structure in a short space of time. And once you've done that, that's when you can focus on the next one.
It sounds like you are more saying that you didn't do project plan properly. And
100%.
when do you think you should have done a project plan? Because to me, it sounds like you wanted to do project plan having acquired the property. Don't you think it's ideal that before you even, and it brings me back to the tonight conversation to say, if you get a lead, let's say through having you done the research, what were
Yes.
the steps that you have done until you secure the deal? What are the things that you've done? What did you do?
Yeah. I agree to say the project planning should have started way before even the plans to the municipality could be submitted,
Hmm.
so that I could have done a proper research and analyzed in terms of costing and the time frame and things like that. I could have maybe gathered all the information
Hmm.
before I could maybe go and start with the approval of the plan, so that the project can be run smoothly.
Hmm.
But I think I failed in the planning stage. I haven't done proper planning on this one. I have to
Okay.
be honest.
Okay. So, which is something that you've learned, and
Yes.
then you're not gonna repeat it on the next project. Maybe
Yes.
let's do reverse engineering
Yeah.
and say, if you take us back, what did you do when after you've done research? How did you find that property? Because you're just doing research about property investing. How do you find that lead? How did you find that property?
Uh, After doing my research, I then drove around. I had
Okay.
to drive around. And then the first thing that came to mind was that I need to invest in a property that is closer to the colleges, I mean the schools, because my target population was the students, because I wanted to build student accommodation, but I couldn't just build anywhere, so I had to drive around, check colleges, check locations where I can be able to build, and then I checked with agents, because I went through the internet to check the agencies that are mainly operating at that area. That's when I started engaging with them to say, I need the land in this area. Then that's how I got that piece of land.
Okay. So and I'm gonna summarize what John said. John defined. He did a research. He did his homework, and through that homework, he defined what he wants as a property investor.
Yes,
He wanted student accommodation, and he knew where to then look because he defined his market.
yes,
And then he said, okay, what would be the best way for me to get access to property deals that I'm looking for? That's when he reached out to estate agents that are operating in
yes,
that area.
100%.
Now, I assume that you got this land from one of the estate agents that we're speaking to.
Yes.
Now, when they said, John, here's a land that you're looking for, what did you do?
Uh, the first thing after they've said, okay, this is the land, I went there with them, checked, and also verify what I was actually looking for, to just to confirm if is it the right place. And then I went to the municipality to ask them that, does this land belong to so and so, because I had the OTP with me. And then they said, yes, you can purchase the land. And then I went back to the agent to say, yes, I'm buying the land. And then they introduced me to the what you call the lawyers, so that they can assist me with the transfers of that property into my name. And then later I was issued with the title deed of that land. And that is when the process of getting the plan from the architect and things like that started. Immediately after I got the title deed.
Okay. To me, sounds like there's a lot of gaps. What are the gaps? When you are thinking in hindsight,
Yes.
what are the gaps that you jumped?
I can't think of right now.
No, we're doing reverse engineering. Remember, you've done certain things.
Yes.
We're doing reverse engineering. What are the things that you think you didn't do them at the right time?
Uh, I think the issue of taking the plan unto the municipality. I think I rushed that one as well because immediately after acquiring the land,
Maybe let me help you here.
yes,
Let's scope before you sign an OTP.
yes,
Let's scope before you.
okay,
What are the things that you have done after you acquired the property? And make it easy now for you.
yes.
What are the things that you have done after you have acquired the property that you think you should have done them before you have acquired the property?
Ah, you tricking me on this one.
No, I made it even easy. Okay, let's call a friend. Let's call
Yes,
a friend.
yes,
Guys, I need someone who can help. Whoever was listening to my conversation with John,
yes,
I need someone who can jump in and assist John. I'm not gonna spoon feed John. We're gonna
yeah.
engage. I'm gonna, help there and there, hint. But he needs to solve this thing by himself so that he learn from that. Okay, he learns from that, and all of us learns from that so that we don't forget. Because
Mm.
when you come up with the solution, you're by yourself. That's how you actually best positioned not to forget the solution you derived. Okay, so again, I'm putting it back to you, John, to say what are the things that you've done that you think you should have done them before you even signed the OTP? That you have done after you've signed the OTP. When John is still thinking about it, let's give John time to think about it. And he will remember what he did after he signed OTP and after he acquired the property. Guys, we're going to be doing exactly this. On Sunday. We're gonna be I'll be taking you guys through the deal that we're evaluating currently in Tempisa, and we're gonna evaluate it. We haven't signed the OTP, and I'll be doing the steps before the OTP. What are the steps that you must do before the OTP? And we'll be taking through you, and we'll be speaking to some of the guys, my power team, some of them if they're available for Sunday. But I'll be the main guy for that. I'll be taking you guys through that. So if you want to join us for the session, I made it 100 rand. But if you subscribe to my YouTube channel right now and send me a screenshot that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, I'll give you the link for free. Okay?
Okay.
If you go right now and you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you then send me the screenshot that you subscribed, and then I'll take your details down, and then we then take it from there. Okay. Yes. So is it clear, guys? If you want to join us for Sunday for the Zoom webinar from 6 to 8 p.m., go to my YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and then take a screenshot and send me a screenshot and WhatsApp me. The number is 074 589 6439. Okay, that will definitely help you to send. Otherwise, then you have to pay 100 rand to join us on Sunday. Okay. So, John, I see that your friends are trying to help you here. Maybe I'm going to invite some of them. Let's invite some of them. Um, where are they? Let me see, Nsani. I don't know if you'll be able to. Uh, I'm going to try to. Thames, I see Thames is also answering. Cleo, if you're available, I'm going to invite you. Where's Cleo? The ones that are answering, I'm going to try to invite them to see if we can have a conversation. Okay, but before I think Sebo said he's at work. So before I allowed Nsani to come through, John, what have you thought?
Uh, yeah, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm stuck.
Should we call a friend?
Please, man.
Okay. Okay. Let's call a friend. Friend is Nzane. Nzane, good evening.
Good evening, guys. How are you?
We're doing well, thank you. So we've got a John. John has
Sorry,
bought and he has
sorry. I got the topic in between, but yeah, let's go with it.
John has bought a property and he's already done. But you know, my question to him was, what are the things that he has done after he has signed OTP that he should have done before he actually signed the OTP?
Okay.
Yes, there are things that he has done that I believe that he should have done them before he actually signed an OTP and he bought the property. He has done them afterwards. He just forgot. He knows them, but he's just not confident enough. He doesn't want to be wrong. I know the challenge.
We all learn from the mistakes, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
no, of course. I mean, that's why we're existing tonight. Let's have fun.
Yeah. John, I went through the same process that you went through, whereby I bought land. I think that was 12 years ago.
Yes.
My aim with that land actually was to develop my dream home and then whatever with my family.
Yeah.
So, but unfortunately, I went the same process that you did. I made the same mistakes that you did,
Yes.
whereby I went to after buying the land, I went to municipality, actually getting plans approval, only to find out that actually the project is gonna cost more than what I qualify from from the bank and the company I was working for. So I had to delay the process. I have to cancel the plan with municipality. I have to go to what is this NHRP what to cancel the registration of the house and all those things. It was costly.
Yeah.
So, but the sad part is that I didn't do my research about the area before.
Yeah.
Things like do they allow student accommodation, like actually full feasibility study to say, okay,
Yeah.
what's the pros and cons of the area? Do I need to rezone the land? All these things. If for you, actually, because of you developing multi-lets or flats, I'm not sure what you guys are developing.
Yeah.
But I think there is a process that you are supposed to follow before, whereby when you do a feasibility study, how many rooms are you gonna build there, even before you start, even before you go to municipality, and then what's the market rate there? What is who's your tenants? All those things. Yeah, I didn't know about that until I met guys like Shillyboy and everyone. So he will tell you about some projects that we are involved on, but yeah, we made all mistakes, but my brother. So you're not the first one, but at least you're still there, and then you can still correct everything that you did. But next time, I'm definitely sure you won't make same mistakes.
Agree.
So, from John, what I'm hearing Nsane is saying a feasibility study. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a fancy word. Yeah, it's all those bombastic. But he did analyze. But I want us to simplify it. Maybe let's take a step back, guys. Let's be relatable and say, here I am, I'm John. I did my research.
Yes.
And I went to a place that there are student accommodations and there are TVET colleges, and I want to build student accommodation because I want to involve myself in that space.
Yes.
I then reach out to a estate agent in that area to say, Mr. Estate Agent or Miss Estate Agent, please find me a deal that will suit these criteria. What I like is that when they said, here's a thing, he took it upon himself to go and do an inspection that it meets a certain criteria.
Yes.
that he had in mind. I think I'll give you that as a tick.
Yes.
Then, typically, someone who's not more experienced, someone more experienced would have already had a blueprint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But because you didn't have it,
Mm.
the starting point, personally, what I'll then do is to gather the documents,
Yes.
and it will be to verify the value of the property. I'll pull out limestone report. I'll pull out wind deed report. I'll obtain even the title deed of that land. Why am I obtaining all those information? All these documents, they play specific role, and we'll be covering this on Sunday.
Yeah.
I'll inspect those documents to ensure that they allow me, or they don't prevent me to build what I want to build.
Yes.
And that's a research that you can do on your own. You don't have to involve an expert.
Yeah.
Once you're comfortable that it kind of meets, you ticked, I'll engage an architecture and say, Mr. Architecture, I've seen this gem. Can you verify if what I have in mind it's possible?
Mm.
And then Mr. Architecture, before I even go to Mr. Architecture, because it could be concurrently. Then I also call a town planner. Say, Mr. Town Planner, I read the title deed. I don't see restrictive conditions. What is the most rights that I can get in this place?
Yeah.
I haven't bought anything. And then they give me all the snapshots and say, no, Shillyboy, you can do so much, you can do so much, you can do so much, you can do so much. As part of the due diligence, and then remember, I'm doing the due diligence. Then I'll say, okay, it feels like it meets high level of certain things. Mr. Architecture, because you and I are going to work together, can you quickly draft a concept design? It's a quick thing. And can this concept design be endorsed by the municipality? It's a quick turnaround.
Yeah.
And to avoid to lose that land, then you can send OTP and say this OTP is subjected to that due diligence, and you get it maybe 90 days or so.
Okay.
You should get a response from municipality within that period. Normally for that, the turnaround is very quick. For concept designs, you're not looking for approval, but you're looking for approval of the concept design. Then once the municipal says, no, what you have in mind is more likely going to be approved, then it's worth investing money now.
Yeah.
You see, I haven't even spent a cent, but I actually pushed the assessment of this deal to such an extent that I'm able to then go and speak to a contractor and say, Mr. Contractor, this concept design that we have, how much can actually cost us? Right. And then Mr. Contractor will say, Shillyboy, this thing is going to cost you 10 million. Do I have the 10 million? No. How much do I have? 5 million. Okay. Mr. Architecture, what is it that we can do with 5 million?
Yeah.
Then Mr. Architecture will have to redesign or rework his concept to suit your budget.
Yes.
I haven't signed anything. Once we kind of have comfort that we can actually work out this and have, and I know where I'm going to raise money and all these things, Only then I sign the OTP. Then the OTP is also extended due diligence and all these things. And then also, if I'm gonna go through the bond application, then it could be that I need that extra 90 days, 220 days, whatever.
Yes.
And then that's pretty much high level of how I would approach before signing OTP.
Okay.
Those things you've done them. The things that I'm telling you, you've done them.
Yeah, but not at the right stages.
Yes, you've done them. There's no way you jump those things.